DCW, DCW, DCW.
Alright, welcome back to DCW Attitude Round 2. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream, and to this particular night we are live, and hopefully you're all having a good evening. Today's the day as we get ready for more action as we count down to some mighty fine wrestling, and as our tournament continues from El Paso, Texas. It's kind of interesting. The Blast is sort of on a world tour, and Attitude is on the local scene. So here is our tournament as it stands: Ursula versus Brenna, Kat versus Parashi, Emily versus B, and Lizzie Jones versus Cat 50,000 in the tournament to win the inaugural Internet Championship. And who will do it? Who will be there when it's all said and done? We just are beginning to find out, and hopefully you'll stick with us. This will count down. The semifinals will happen next week, and the final will happen at the pay-per-view, which is coming in 2 weeks' time. So get ready. But first up, it is two of the people who will not be fighting for that championship. In fact, they are currently fighting to get a shot at the women's championship. It's Phoenix versus Zoe. And here we go. Out first, it's Phoenix. One of her rare singles matches over the last little while. British Union member has been very busy the last little while as one half of the tag team champions.
For one fall, making her way to the ring from Newcastle upon Tyne, England, the phenomenal one, Nicole.
All right, so Nicola hoping to move on to take on Runa for the championship. Zoe, who unfortunately for her lost her opportunity last week, will be trying to maintain her number one contendership spot in this match. So we'll have to see how it goes. I know Fate are also gearing towards the tag team titles as well. So don't be surprised if they're in the mix for that as well. But for now, Zoe has an opportunity to get back at the Women's Championship. This is a big match for her, if she can do so. And here she comes.
And her opponent, from Great Falls, Montana, the Chosen One.
They're both Chosen One. Or no, the one's Phenomenal One? I don't know. I'll have to double check that later, because that'll be redundant. So if you ever wonder why we pre-record these episodes, it just comes down to the fact that I've had a particular episode I'm in the midst of trying to record, and it's a tag team match, and I've had 10 fails with the tag team match so far, glitching out and just dying. So yeah, could you imagine trying to do that live? It would be so obnoxious. But nonetheless, here we are, here we go. Immediately, Phoenix in, quick punches, just quick kicks. A whole variety of strikes that just send Zoe down for the count right away. Now tosses her into the turnbuckle in the corner. and then drops her on her back. Phoenix is on par right now with one of the more aggressive starts to a match, although finally Zoe fires back up. And now she wrenches on that arm. Phoenix, of course, not a popular wrestler here in DCW. Most of the fans only want to see her lose. So, of course, she loves making them hate her. And the British Union, of course, certainly don't have fans in the crowd. And certainly not with our announce team, as poor old Webby just can't handle them. All right, Phoenix working on the arm, working on the leg, working on everything right now. Trying to get Zoe off her game. Early on, goes for a quick pin. Not going to happen that way. You don't tuck that leg. You haven't even got a chance. And that was barely a 1 count. All right, she gets her in the camel clutch. She's stretching her out. Zoe gets one hand free. Struggles free and trips Phoenix up. Kind of a move we've seen a few times. Whoa, and then goes for a speedily fast Hurricanrana that catches Phoenix right off the bat. Takes her down. Tries to go for, I guess, a stunner, but instead gets a claymore to the face effectively. Now tossed into the corner. Following up, but missed. She tried to go for a knee to the back. Strikes by Zoe. Catch Phoenix. Takes her over, and with a suplex is able to put her down. And that German has now turned the tide as Phoenix is in trouble. Phoenix being worked on, I should say, by Zoe, who now has her, but lost control. Now Phoenix with a high knee puts Zoe back down. Zoe rolling out to the apron, picks herself up. She's on the ropes. That's not where you want to be. Phoenix decks her and knocks her off to the floor. Zoe in trouble now. Phoenix with an opportunity to really put the boots to her, but instead throws her back into the ring, surprisingly. However, bashes her throat into the side of the apron. Painful move. Now she's picking her up. After taking out her windpipe, she now works on her with a little quick move. Swing over, and now she's got her picked back up again. Looking like she's going to dump her one more time, and does, and then rolls over and goes for a pin. 2. No. That was quite a devastating sequence of combination moves that almost worked out. Unfortunately for Zoe, she was unable to make it happen. Quick kick there by Phoenix. Phoenix picks up Zoe. Gets her in the Kirakuda clutch. Choking. Can Zoe get out? She's got to get free. She needs to pull the arm or she's just going to tap. Or will she fight her way out? Yes, a couple of elbows. And then one to the face. Gets free of Phoenix. That was close. Throws her into the opposite corner. Comes slowly in, and that may have been a mistake. Phoenix able to reverse it. Flips her over. Knees to the face over and over again. Zoe's in big trouble, kicked to the ground. Zoe trying to pick herself back up, seated in a seating position in the corner. Not where you want to be. Not with Phoenix able to pick her up and toss her. So what will they do? Drags her to the middle of the ring. Phoenix looks to turn her over. She goes for a cheap pin. 2. Zoe kicks out at 2. She's in deep trouble. She's been in deep trouble ever since they went outside the ring. When she stood up on the apron and got hit. And ever since then, it's almost been completely a Phoenix show. For the first time in a while, she got a reversal, and now she's got her. Double arm takeovers. Picking Phoenix up. Working her way, throws her into the opposite corner. Moves in. Again, slowly and deliberately picks her up. And gives her a suplex into the corner turnbuckle. Now 1, 2. Ooh, so close to a 2 count, but not close enough to a 3. Which, of course, is the whole problem. Zoe standing up, waiting for Phoenix to get to her feet. Picks her up, Bailey to belly, and now goes for the pin. Can she get it? 1, 2. To use a British terminology, against the run of play, she almost got the win. Phoenix now in trouble. Quick strike. Whoop, mixed with the axe handle on the first one, but gets the second one, then a third. Now she's got her in the corner. Comes in. Now what's she going to do? Follows it up. This doesn't always work, but this time it does. High elbow to the face. After the spear, takes Phoenix into danger land, but they tie up as Zoe again a little too slow, a little too deliberate about her pursuing Phoenix, and now Phoenix takes advantage of that. Again, stretching on the neck in that camel clutch. It doesn't ever get a submission, it seems, in DCW, but it does make it hurt. Zoe trying to stand up. Immediately kicked by Phoenix. Phoenix picks her up, puts her down. Kirikou to clutch. Should have realized this was coming. Zoe's trying to fight her way out. She does. Actually, a lot quicker this time around. Able to recover. She grabs her nose, but instead clobbers Phoenix. And now she's got her in a choke. Putting pressure on the neck of Phoenix. Phoenix in trouble. Trying to get her way out. Trying to grab hair. Trying to do anything she can. She finally flips it over and actually gets her own headlock on. And now tries to put Zoe down, but Zoe able to kick herself out of that one. Throws her into the corner yet again. Slowly, deliberately moves in. Turns her around. The fans are jacked. They want to see Phoenix lose this match. And again, she is bombed into that corner turnbuckle. Pin. 1, 2. No. Zoe getting frustrated. Phoenix now is on jeopardy. Zoe takes the opportunity to go for a high-risk maneuver to the top rope. She's got a chance. Stands up. She points to the sky and leaps with a big elbow smash. Picks up the leg. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, that hand was so close. Phoenix is struggling. She's come very close to being finished off. Zoe has the opportunity to do it, but then a quick reversal gets Phoenix out of there. She then gets tossed over the rope, however, and now Zoe working her way on her. Got her with a couple of combinations. Oh, and then a big cutter sends Phoenix to the floor. Stands Phoenix up, looking to do even more damage. She's got her outside the ring. What's she going to do with her? She throws her into the side of that barrier and then just punches her to the ground. So we could probably win this on a count out at this rate, but no. She picks Phoenix up. That may have been a huge mistake. We're now at 4. Phoenix drags her over to the steps, bashes her face into the top step. Picks her up again. Throws her back, physically, jarringly back into the ring. Trouble ahead, possibly. Zoe turned over. Now, working on the arm. Putting some pressure on this arm. Can she get the advantage she needs? They are trying. Zoe's trying desperately to get free. She's struggling and not able to do it quite yet. She gets shakily to her feet, but Phoenix is waiting for a quick kick to the midsection. Picks her up. It looks like it is. The Kirikou to clutch. It's locked in again. This time, there's no chance. Zoe just cannot do it. For the 3rd time, Phoenix is able to finally put her away in a very, very solid opening match. One that will see Phoenix qualify for the World Heavyweight Championship match against Runa at Redemption. That was a big win tonight for... Oh! But Phoenix decides to continue. She continues to go after Zoe. Kicks and more kicks. And with that, she takes even a bit more pleasure in putting Zoe into maybe a medical procedure or something at that point. The injury could have happened. As it turned out, she got lucky and got away with no injuries as far as we're aware. But that's big trouble. Now we have one of our first matches of the evening, our first triple threat between Ember, Cheeky, and Lilu. Hey, Kurt, how you doing? Three competitors looking for a big win. Ember, Cheeky, and Lilu all losing last week in their play-in matches to try and enter the tournament, and so thus they're just looking for a bit of a championship match here of their own. But yeah, Phoenix is a rodder. She's a total rodder. But here we go. I don't know what I did with my water. I think I brought it out of the bathroom. That's funny.
Making her way to the ring from England, Caitlin.
Here comes Cheeky. One of the unprofessionals, newest competitor in DCW. We brought up her rookie adventures last week. She'll be looking to try and get a win here in a match which will see her fight in against another relatively new wrestler and an old hand, Ember, of course, one of the originals to enter DCW when it started. Here
And
she
her
comes.
opponents. First, from Arizona, the Queen.
So Ember, one half of M&M, and they have not been having the greatest of times. Emily able to qualify for the tournament, while Ember unfortunately was not able to do so. And they have not had the best of records lately. That was a weird old laugh by that band. But she'll be looking to change her fortune here. Maybe get an opportunity against somebody down the road. I know M&M have been very frustrated. They haven't had a lot of wins. And both wrestlers not in the best of situations with each other, I think, based on the last match I watched them together.
And from Oregon,
Here comes Lilu
Lee Lewis Jacob.
with her Bob Backlund walk, which just seems to fit the character, I'm not gonna lie. All right, so Lilu, who only came into the Federation last month, I guess, will be looking to try and make some hay here. She hasn't had the best of records either, so unlike her fellows such as Zoe, who honestly, other than the last two losses, has been on a tear. All right, here we go. These three women about to lock up. Oh, Lilu just charges Cheeky and just axe handles her to the face, then takes down Ember. A good start for her, but Ember immediately turns that over. Now, Cheeky and Ember lock up, grabs her, trips her up. Now goes and puts damage on the leg. Meanwhile, Lilu got distracted, busy taunting the fans. Probably not the best choice, but she's got Cheeky up and takes her over. And now, after Ember, a couple of quick punches, but the kick is blocked. Chop and a big clothesline sends her to the ground. Cheeky kind of deciding to do a little bit of flashiness, got herself caught out. And now it's Ember who's standing tall. I was wondering quite what she was doing. She looked like she was bashing. Tried to go for a quick pin, but Lilu there to break it up. Of course, as we often bring up in these occasions, there are no countouts, no disqualifications as far as I know in these triple threat matches. And I've been handed a piece of paper, which I probably should mention, that in the blast last week, we saw a rather intriguing match, which ended with some referee shenanigans between Dangerous Alliance and the Shadow Fox. And from what I understand, the Dangerous Alliance have decided that their match at Redemption will be a elimination tag match, which will be fascinating to watch as they try and get their titles back. Oh, they actually tag team to work against Lilu. But immediately Ember turns against her erstwhile ally. Cheeky in trouble. Spear sends her to the ground. Ember's got a lot of opportunity here. Lilu's down. Oh. Cheeky kicked out, though. Cheeky gets back to her feet and takes care of Ember. Just rocked her over the top rope to the floor, and Ember looked like she was in some pain. Here's a pin by Lilu, though. One. No. Ember's struggling to get to her feet. Lilu kicks Cheeky. Ember seems to be waiting to get some of her momentum back. Surprised she's up so quickly, I gotta be honest. She looked like she got absolutely torqued. 1, 2. I was gonna say, that was a very dangerous move by Ember, going to the top rope, waiting for Lilu, while Lilu's trying to pin Cheeky. Not the smartest of moves, but she does survive that, and now backbreaker to Lilu. Stretches, and again, and then flips her over. Lilu struggling to her feet. Ember goes for a quick kick to the gut. Sends Lilu to the mat. Comes in, natural selection. But Cheeky is back up just as Ember tries to go for the pin. Gets stopped. Now. Oh. Arm breaking move there. But Cheeky is in trouble. Ember working her way on her, trying to set her up probably for the figure eight at this point if she can do it. With Lilu very much out. Oh, on. Waited too long. Too much work on Cheeky to get her out of the ring. Ended up meaning that Lilu was able to recover and goes for a Hurricane Rana that catches Ember. Knee drop onto Ember's face. Ember now rolls to the apron. Lilu, with an opportunity, goes up to kind of mock her. But decks Ember off of the apron while Cheeky slides back in. Lilu goes up to the top rope. Not quite sure why Cheeky didn't bother to get her. She had her back turned. But instead, focusing on Ember. Obviously quite peeved with Ember at this point. Whoa! Lilu tried to jump off the top rope, I guess, to hit Ember. Completely misses. However, you can tell that these two wrestlers are rookies as they're making some strange choices. Oh, and over Ember goes again. This match has been a rough one on her. And now, again, not sure why Lilu's going to the top rope. And that gets proven as to why that was a bad idea. You don't turn your back on an opponent who's on their feet. It doesn't even make sense. Ember catches Cheeky. Ember, who's been basically beaten up, somehow is still in this. Bashes Cheeky into the apron. Airplane spins her into the apron now. Big chop. And then throws her into the steps. Cheeky in trouble. Lilu back to her feet, though. And now she tosses Ember back in the ring. Ember kips up and immediately clotheslines Lilu back out of the ring. These three are not keeping it in where they can actually get the pin. This is not falls count anywhere, ladies. Ember back in, turns Lilu over, goes for the pin. Cheeky starting to move. One. No, not enough. Not enough. Nowhere near enough. Cheeky stirring, but she's not there yet. She's still on her knees, trying to get to her feet. Finally does. Ember working her way on Lilu. Goes for another cheap pin. One. No. Oh, Cheeky hit the referee. It is quite the slobber knocker, I will agree, Kurt. Cradle DDT. Yes, Cheeky catches her, but there's no referee to count. So thus, Ember gets out straight away. Cheeky roars with approval on the fact that she's been able to do that, but maybe allowed Ember to get back into this match. Ember with a spear and a roar of her own. Now Lilu picks up Ember. Oh dear. And flapjacks her onto the mat. She's going back up for another high-risk maneuver, but there goes Ember outside the ring. Where is Lilu going? She's going after Cheeky and connects with a huge elbow. That was a long, long jump. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. No. Cheeky able to get out away from that, but oh, Lilu stretching the arm, working on it, trying to get Cheeky weakened. The Alabama Slam. I don't know. 2. These ladies have been tearing it up. This has been a rough one. Not for the faint of heart. Ooh. Bashed into the mat, and then a clothesline sends Ember back out again. This is Cheeky's opportunity. She's again probably chasing the wrong player. Oh, but Ember comes straight back in, so maybe she wasn't. And immediately catches Cheeky out. Flips her down. Cheeky now rolls back out of the ring. Ember tries to close in on Lilu, but Lilu caught her briefly, but now Ember able to still get the best of Lilu. Knocks her off her feet. Dragging her towards the center of the ring. Goes for the pin. Got the leg up. 1, 2. Oh, that was tight, tight, tight. Only a 2 count. Now, Lilu's still not with it. Quite dazed. Cheeky getting to her feet. She's got to get into this ring, or otherwise this could end right now. She does. Oh, and goes after Lilu, then stands right up to Ember. She's got Ember right more or less where she wants her. Oh, but Ember reverses it, and with a clothesline takes her down, and now just stretching on her neck, wrenching. But Cheeky able to get out again. Very impressive moves by the rookie, but Ember still working her way back, fighting through this match. All 3 of these ladies must be in pain. This match has been brutal so far. Lilu up finally. Comes in with an axe handle. Catches Ember as she was hit by Cheeky. Comes across. Does her own version of the natural selection, it looked like. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, close call for Lilu there. Cheeky misses on a wild leap that just completely failed. Thrown back into the other corner. Shoulder check, here it is. It's the crazy train. She's coming in. Here we go. Oh, but misses. Head connects with the turnbuckle, comes out of the corner, right into Cheeky. But Cheeky got caught. Knocked down again. But this time, instead of the crazy train, it's a double fist to the face. And Ember picking up the bones, goes for it. 1, 2. No. Looked good there. She looked like she had Lilu dead to rights. But instead, it's now Cheeky that's in trouble. Once again. Ember sets her up. Natural selection. Can she get the pin before Lilu gets to her feet? Lilu is still struggling to her knees. Pin attempt. 1, 2. Oh, that probably was 3, but Lilu came in, catches Ember at the last second, then catches her again with a massive spear. Now comes in, and just decks Ember off that apron once again. That is the 3rd time Ember has been dropped off the apron by one of these 2 ladies. Now she's working away. She's got her up. Modified kind of a Boston Crab maneuver. Nope. But Cheeky able to get out of it. Stressed out. Reaching for her back. She's in a lot of pain now. Launched into the corner. Then another spear. Again, Cheeky grabbed her back as she went down. But jawbreaker. Ember trying to get her wits about her, but comes in and hits Cheeky, knocking her out of the ring. Pinning attempt. 1, 2. No. These ladies are throwing everything they have. Everybody's got to be getting frustrated now. They cannot seem to get the pin. Now it's Lilu's turn to be put on the edge of the apron. Now, this time, though, it's a reverse cutter that brings her back. Ember with an opportunity. She could finish this off. But again, she sends Lilu. Tries to hit Lilu off the apron, but instead gets a fist to the face herself. Now Lilu picking her up. Power bomb. But not enough when Cheeky's there. Cheeky reverses this. She's got her. Takes Lilu over. Now, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And Cheeky gets her first win in DCW. A big victory in a 3-way dance that was hardcore pay-per-view level. And there was a lot of big moves, a lot of risks taken, a lot of very good moments here, but nonetheless, the rookie with a big win. I mean, the pin's against Lilu. But if you're Ember, what do you say when you cannot beat either of these 2 ladies? How does this look for you? She has been on a massive losing streak as of late. I can't actually remember the last time Ember won either a singles or a tag team match. I would say not since the start to Runa. Yay and boo, yeah. So Cheeky with a big win for herself and her team. Only 2 women on the unprofessionals. No D&D originals in the women's division, so that rivalry doesn't continue so far. But, yeah, these 2 were able to make some hay and get a big win. So now we reach the point in the show where we get into the tournament, and it is Lizzie Jones facing off against the other member of the unprofessionals, Cat 50,000. This is to go on to the semifinals next week. Cat in a bitter rivalry currently with Brenna. And Lizzie, of course, one half of fate, her partner losing tonight. So, speaking of Ember, and she hosts the stream. So, they will be looking to carry on down this road. Lizzie will want to make up for the partner's loss and trying to move on. So she can actually take on for the championship herself. Lizzie has done fairly well for herself. She's not quite on par with her partner, as Zoe has been the more dynamic of the 2 to date, but she's definitely been doing well enough that they could be in for a shot at the championship if they fail here. But of course, she'll be looking to move on with the Internet Championship.
And her opponent, from parts unknown, Kitty.
Here comes Kat. Kat wanting to continue up this ladder of success that she's been on. Probably one of the more successful members of Simply Unprofessionals. If not for the fact that she cannot beat Brenna. That has been her one struggle. So she'll be looking to qualify and maybe even take on Brenna at some point down the road, if they make it that far. And they lock up immediately. Big headlocks, take down. It's continuing to wrench on that head. Oh, but Lizzie able to reverse it fairly quickly and does her own little scissor choke. But then with a Hurricane Rana is able to take out Kat, who had looked like she was trying to get back control. She does, however, pick the leg and take her down. Kat comes in, but blocked again. This is reversal Rama right now. Kick to the head. Probably don't pick him up, I guess, is the story of the day here. Comes in, throws her against the ropes, comes back out, ducks down, waiting for her to come back across again, and drop kick. Catches Kat. Oh, what's going on? Everybody looking up the stage. Don't hear any music, so not quite sure what's going on, what's distracting them. Nobody sees anything yet. Oh! But there's Brenna interfering on behalf of Kat. What is she doing? It looks like she's trying to get her disqualified. I thought she'd come in to pummel her, but instead, she appears to be trying to get Kat disqualified and sneaks out before the referee even notices. Don't know what the referee was doing there. He was definitely not looking. He watches Brenna go, doesn't put two and two together. Interesting. That's very, very weird. So was she trying to do that to disqualify her, or was she trying to do that to get Kat to the next level? Because she's wanting to face Kat. I'm not quite sure what the strategy was there for Brenna. Oh! Hurricane Rana from very low down, but then tries to do a springboard no-look drop and fails miserably. Yeah, DCW refs are the worst. Oh, small package! Small package by Lizzie. Oh, only a 1 count. And then Lizzie gets taken down. Kick to the head. Misses on the second one, though. Stretches her out. This match, ever since Brenna got involved, has picked up considerably. Takes her out. Brings her back into the ring. Goes for the pin. 1. No. Lizzie not ready to be taken out quite yet. Kick to the back. And then a big clothesline catches Kat. Kick to the chest. Now working her way on her chin. Pushing down. Now she tries to go for a quick pin. 1. Pretty close to a rope break, I would have thought there, but nope. Picks her back up. Escapes. European uppercut. Standing. Drop kick, and then comes in with a hip attack. Now she drags her back into the center of the ring. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Oh. Lizzie kicks out. Kat a bit frustrated. Think she thought she had her. Kat, of course, did not see the beating that Brenna put on to Lizzie, which I'm sure must have confused her, had she noticed. Punch thrown to miss. And then an Inseguri catches Kat to the head. Lizzie tries to go for a quick pin. 1, 2. Sparky not able to get that pin. She wanted that one pretty badly. Stands up. She's now got Kat positioned. Picks her up to a sitting position. Kat, apparently playing a bit of possum, catches Lizzie to the midsection and then just tags her on the chin and drops her to the floor. Throws her in the corner, follows up with some high knees. Lizzie's in big trouble. Don't know how much of the damage Brenna did counts at this stage. She does, however, reverse on that and stunners Kat on the top rope. Kat goes to the floor. Lizzie to the top. High risk maneuver coming. She gonna jump? She does. Comes down with a big strike to the top of Kat's head. And then turns her over. Is it going to be another count-out victory? Remember, in tournaments, if you get counted out, if both parties get counted out, nobody moves on. And then it would give a bye to the person who they were supposed to face. But as of right now, she's going back to the top rope. Another high-risk maneuver. Kat not moving, takes it right in the small of the back. Kick to the small of the back again. Moves her towards the ropes. It looks like she's going to try and go for another pin. Feet on the ropes. 1, 2. Come on, ref. Gotta call these one of these days. It's like he never sees them. Thrown to the opposite corner. Tries to get a strike, but because she missed, it allowed Kat to reverse it. And then Kat, double combo on that one. Catches Lizzie. Kat, who was in big trouble earlier, now it got her 2. Lizzie able to squeak out. Now she's got a chin lock engaged. The fans going mental here. They're loving what they're seeing. Working away, trying, wrenching, absolutely trying to gain a win here. But Lizzie gets up. Elbows to the midsection. Elbow again. However, Kat able to turn her over. Now drops a knee onto Lizzie. Lizzie might be in big trouble now. Clothesline and a follow-up. It's going to be a third. Duck. And a nice back heel catches Lizzie, sending her crashing down. Then a short, sharp standing kick. And then a hip attack and goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. And Kat, by hook or by crook, is moving on to the semifinals. Once again, not sure what Brenna's strategy was, why she interfered in the match, what her thinking is. We might never know, but we do know this. Kat gets another opportunity to go for the title, and Lizzie will have to join her companion, her tag team partner, and sit on the outside looking in. Close match, hard fought for sure, even without the interference. This match picked up strongly towards the end. Kat happy. Another big win tonight. Should be looking to follow that up. And hopefully next week be able to qualify for the pay-per-view in the final Attitude before Redemption. So now we move on to yet another match in this tournament, I believe. And it's Ursula, who will be, unfortunately for her, performing some double duty against Brenna. Ursula is in the tournament, but is also fighting in a match later with Runa against the tag team champions. SU women doing tonight. Yeah, I know. They've been absolutely taking a lot of risks and got some good matches going. I actually argue that largely Attitude has been better than Blast lately because these women just, they seem to work quite well against each other. And the multi-women matches have been nuts. And here we go. So whatever Brenna's strategy is, she gets an opportunity now to try and get a victory, to get herself to the semifinals against Ursula coming out.
To the ring from the United States of America, Alexia.
So I finally figured out why her other name is not a pickable name. It's because of Alexa Bliss, which would make sense. But I never really thought about it till recently and went, oh, right. Ursula kind of joined with the crowd again. Still a popular figure here in DCW, but certainly that kind of attitude eventually is going to come back to haunt her. All right. So now here she comes. The Bully Barbarian. Our Viking warrior. One-time women's champion. Brenna is here. Bit of a new outfit. Yeah, I know. Funny I can pick her. I know, it's weird.
And her opponent from Valhalla, the Barbarian.
Alrighty. So whatever Brenna's reasons were for attacking Kat, she now gets an opportunity to try and qualify. Well, I guess she didn't attack Kat, but getting involved in Kat's match. As I said, I assume it just comes down to the fact that she wanted her to win so that they could face each other in the semifinals. But here we go. Oh, Ursula with a big clothesline lariat that just absolutely teeth rattled Brenna. Brenna, however, gets her onto the apron and then just brings her back in the hard way. Brenna's had all she can handle in championship matches lately. After winning the MacGuffin in the Bank at Distractorama and then getting the championship in a cash-in, she failed to win at Downfall and now has to struggle to try and get into another championship match. And in the meantime, got into a huge battle with Kat, which has gone on for a number of weeks now. So Ursula's in big trouble. She's back up on the apron again. Tried to bring her in hard way, but she fights out of that. Misses on the drop kick. Tries to go for another one, but Brenna was waiting for that one. Turns her over. Putting the stretch on. I don't think Ursula's going to give in with this kind of hold, but it's all about making her feel more and more pain. Going for a quick attempt here to pin, but Ursula is able to get out of that. Brenna misses on the kick. Now wants to follow up. She puts pressure on the arm. Of course, Brenna's big submission move is an arm bar. So anything she can do to try and weaken that, to get the tap. It's a tap or snap kind of situation she's trying to go for. But Ursula's not going to go down easy. And a big drop kick to the corner sends Brenna to the floor. Picks her up, put her on the ropes, and then just shakes her off. Quick pinning attempt here. One. This has been a rough one for both parties. Picks her up again. Oh! Big elbow by Brenna, gets away, and then comes in with a series of combo attacks, only to get reversed on again. But gets control back. Tries to pick her up, but again reversed. Goodness gracious, I think she had to roll out of the ring to gain her wits, trying to get herself back into this match. Ursula, taunting, almost got caught out, but instead does catch Brenna again. These two they don't have a reputation of fighting each other, but springboard combination catches Brenna. Ursula wiping her hands off on the redhead. Now looks to go in with a sunset flip move and then turns it into a submission. She's got her tied up, but Brenna able to use what little she had available, her knee, to get her way out of there. Clothesline, and kicks her, putting a stomp on in the corner, sends Ursula to the floor. But Ursula immediately comes back in. Brenna follows up, throws her to the opposite corner again, comes in with a big knee, raising Ursula and then sending her to the floor, and then picks her up and drops her again. One. No, not even close to enough. Stomp to the back of the head, picks her up now, scissors, choke, squeezing again. Don't think Ursula will give up, but she's definitely not going to be happy about that one. Combination tie up there. Now picks her up and slams her to the mat, using all of that weight that she has as an advantage over top of her competitor. Now working on the arm again. Twisting, yanking, acting like she's going to pull it out of its socket. And Ursula's struggling. She can't seem to get back into this match at this point. Working away, and then finally turns it over. But still, Brenna had her again, but able to get her way out of it. And then goes for a major clothesline move. I'm not sure I've seen that one before. Ursula celebrating, a little bit of taunting. Tries to go for a little sweet kick and misses, and Brenna makes her pay. Stomp on the back of her elbow. Trying to get out, she does. She rolls out of the ring real quick, and Brenna tries to celebrate, only to get caught out. Clothesline to Mania coming in, and then a big high boot to the face sends Brenna to the mat. Kicks again, and then just catches her with two. Oh boy, that kind of a TDT pretty much looked devastating, but now working her own magic onto Brenna. Ursula's got her where she wants her. Brenna's struggling to her feet though. Kick to the midsection. And she tries to power bomb her down with it. Now she's got her in that submission again. Working away. Is Brenna going to try and use her knees to get out? She's not been able to so far. She cannot get out of the hold. Squeezes in. Is she going to submit? No, she's able to squeeze her arm out at the last possible second. But immediately Ursula follows up with a pin. 2. And does it. And with that, Brenna is out of the tournament. Oh, that's devastating. Caught out by Ursula in a couple of just amazing moves that just allowed her to do the damage she needed to do. And with that, Brenna is gone. So whatever her strategy was for Kat, it comes to naught in more ways than one, because that loss has to hurt. This move, though, oh my goodness, that looked painful. And then she just continually dominated from there on out. And because of that, Ursula moves on into the semifinals. And we'll be looking to follow that up with a big victory and then move on to redemption. So we've got one bracket effectively filled out. Now we got to see if we get the other bracket filled out. As we get Percy versus Kat. Of course, I don't think that's how the brackets are set up. I actually think Kat or Percy will go against Ursula. And it'll be either B or... And I don't unfortunately remember who she's facing. I saw it earlier, but my brain's now gone dead. She will be fighting Kat 50,000 for the semifinals. If whoever wins that match. Why can I not remember? I just completely drawn a blank. Oh well. Here we go. Kat versus Percy. Two ladies looking to make some... It's a good chance for both of them. Let's just put it that way.
To the ring from New Zealand, Catherine.
So Kat's another near rookie who just came in recently. She has had pretty good success considering. Certainly she's got as many wins as she got losses to this point. So she's got an opportunity for sure. And she has been surprisingly good in the matches she has been in. So it'll be interesting to see if she can continue this follow-up. She, of course, joined just before Downfall. And once again, we'll be looking to march up the ladder and make her first pay-per-view. And here she comes. Her opponent. And it's Percy. Percy has had mixed results, I would argue, with her former tag team partner. She was not able to actually make a lot of headway.
And her opponent from the United States of
Cosplay
America,
Warriors just never able to really get off the snide and never really made progress in the tag team division, so likely that was part of what drove them splitting up. But Percy's had success, so certainly she has an opportunity here to follow that up. All right, here we go. Now, for those of you wondering, on Blast, we'll be having a series of matches between the originals and the unprofessionals, including some big opportunities for some people to actually make some headway against their opponents. And Webby will be in action, and so will Austin, but not against each other. Brawler will actually have an opportunity to face off against Donnie, I believe. But we'll have to see how that all turns out. All right, Kat and Percy kind of locking up, kind of not really hitting a lot of marks yet. Bit of a flub there that backfired. That's a great way to get yourself on Botchamania, missing that move. And then a big elbow to the face, and then a follow-up elbow to the face. These ladies are fighting it hard on the outside. Maybe a little too hard. They've lost concentration on taking this back in the ring where they've got to be, but then Percy throws her back in. Follows back in on Kat. Kat is reeling already. Working away. And then a drop kick sends Kat to the mat. Misses on the stomp, and immediately, whoa, she stood up super quick. Cat comes in and nails Percy to the head, but misses on the stomp, misses again. A lot of botches here. Oh, able to get her down unprotected straight to the mat, and then this time Percy gets turned over, thrown back into the mat again. Cat now drags her to the middle of the ring. So far, the biggest indication in this match is the one who botches least might win. Quick combinations. Cat celebrating a bit. After getting a little bit cocky, though, arm drag takeover. Sends her back to the mat now. Percy picks her up. Sets her up on the top rope. And then sends her immediately back to the floor, to the mat. Now, Cat in trouble. Percy working on the neck. The old pro trying her best. Stomps on Cat's forearm. And again. Oof. So much for weight on that forearm. Now she goes for a quick pin. One. But Cat able to get out. She still hasn't moved a lot, but ooh, able to miss that kick to the back, which looked like it kind of hurt Percy from the miss. But Percy able to follow up. Tries to do a gymnastics move into the corner, but misses. Then follows up with another one and does connect. Throws her to the mat. Looking like she's going to go to the top rent district. Waiting for Cat to get up. Waving for her to get to her feet. Cat stumbling. Doesn't know what's going on. And gets stunnered from the top rope. 1, 2. Oh my goodness, that was close. Cat, so far, in big trouble. Rolls out of the ring. Hoping to gain some momentum back, but Percy follows almost immediately, but gets caught. Thrown outside of the ring area, but able to hop back in. No follow-up. Kick to the leg, and then immediately Cat jumps back in. Percy follows it up, catches Cat with a big chop. Throws her to the opposite side of the ring and then chases her in with a big high knee lift. Unlike the match with Zoe, where she was so much more deliberate, Percy going in full force. And she takes her over and plants her into that mat. I can see that she is going for it now with a pin. 1, 2. Cat able to squeak out of that. Hasn't moved. Percy waiting. Series of kicks and chops, and then spins her over. Cat struggling now. And Percy on the advantage. Working on the leg. Gets her pin. 1, 2. Ooh, close. Not quite 2.5. Working on that small of the back. Putting her knee into the back. Choking. She fights. Cat does fight her way out of it, however. Percy back to her feet. Immediately struck down. Drops to the mat again. Tries to fight her way back up. Cat now waiting for her. Super kick to the face. Dragged into the middle of the ring. Pinning combination. 1, 2. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Cat thought she had that. Looks up at the referee in amazement that she didn't get the 3. Kick combination coming in on Percy. Drags her face first across the mat and gives her another boot. And then picks her up, but of course, arm drag takedown. Reversal by Percy. Percy running against the ropes. Oh. Able to catch Cat. Planting her into the mat. Comes in, another clothesline, rolls her out to the floor. Thought she was going to go for a leap, but instead tries to follow up, but arm drag takedown by Kat, flips that all around. Pershey in trouble, thrown into the top of the turnbuckle. Now sent almost into the referee, and then Kat tries to follow that up and misses, taking the brunt of that collision. And then drags her over, sending Pershey to the ground again. Working away, she's making a big effort, comes in with a high forearm strike. Pershey on her back. It's been nothing but Kat in the last minute or so. Goes for the pin, puts her feet on the ropes. 1, 2. Those don't really work very often, I'm going to say. That leverage just doesn't seem to be enough. Puts her off the ropes, tries to go for another drop kick, but misses, but does catch Pershey's foot as she tries to kick her again. Got her weakened, turns her over. Oh, and then just slams her into that bottom rope. Opportunity now for Kat to finish Pershey off. Pershey stumbles to her feet. Super kick. She goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and that's pretty much all she wrote. Kat moves on and will face Ursula in the next round. Big victory for Kat in a match that a lot of people are surprised that she would have had any business being in. She is able to just outlast Pershey. A little shorter affair here, but still a very good match. Both ladies giving it their all, trying to win that internet title. But Kat just able to follow up with a series of combination strikes that just catches Pershey, and in taking advantage of it, Kat is now moving on. So, next up, our final match of the evening in the tournament. It's Bea versus Emily. This is who I couldn't remember. I don't know why I couldn't remember her name, but there you go. Emily with an opportunity to do what her partner could not do. She won last week. If she can continue to win, she'll face Kat in the semifinals. Eminem will look upon that victory, I'm sure, with some excitement if she can get that win. Bea, of course, will want to do what Phoenix has already done, which is qualify for a championship match at the pay-per-view. If Bea does that, and if they can win, the British Union will have lots to gloat about in the next little bit. Oh, pardon me. But we'll have to see what happens as these two parties are about to lock up in a match which is going to be very interesting. Bea is probably, as I've said before, one of the more successful competitors in DCW. Emily has not had a very good record, and she'll want to improve.
The ring, from England, the Queen Bea.
All right, so Bea enters this match knowing she has a lot on the line, and apparently marriage offers from the crowd. All right, she's good to go. Here comes our other competitor, Emily.
And her opponent, from Salem, Oregon, Emily.
So Emily's had herself some decent matches, but has never really, as a singles competitor, been able to get very many wins. She has a lot of opportunity here to make something of her situation. I'm sure she will love nothing more than to beat B and be able to move on. But here she comes. And here it is. Our final match in the tournament qualifiers, in the quarterfinals anyway. B immediately gets Emily, but Emily comes back with a Hurricane Rana move that takes B down. Stomps on B's arm. She'll want to go aggressive right off the hop, because if she doesn't, B will take advantage of that, and so far has been trying to. But instead, she's caught up and then dropped onto the top rope. That guillotine must hurt. And then gets a kick in the back for good measure. Emily apparently is ready for this match. Comes in and tosses her off that top rope. The rope has been a big factor in tonight's matches. Stomp by Emily. She's going up for a high-risk maneuver early in the match. She's waiting for B to get to her feet. Nope. B struggling to get up, so Emily instead closes in on her. Takes her over the top. Now goes for the pin. 1. Nope. Could not get that pinning combination set up. Pushes B's face into the mat. Picks her back up again. Looking to make things work out, but misses on her combination off the rope. And then gets taken over by B. B putting all the pressure on now. Kick to the back. Picks her back up again. Throws her over. And now B's opportunity is here. She's working her way on her. Big drop kick in the corner sends Emily to the mat. Struggles back to her feet, but now B throws her into the other corner and another drop kick. Goodness, Emily's in big trouble. Takes her over, and it is a reverse cutter. Oh. But catches B stomping. Emily with an opportunity here. The crowd booing Emily. Something fierce, but now she turns B over. Goes to the pin. 1. You can never tell, is she being booed or is it B that's being booed? Either way, we know the British Union have no fans. At least not very many here in Texas. Big miss on that drop kick. Nope, they both whiff. Thrown into the opposite ropes. B takes her down and starts pounding away in a Stone Cold Steve Austin-like move. Crowd still not overly thrilled with either of these competitors. Raining the boos down on B. Yet B has used her advantage now. Tries to go for a cheap pin, but Emily able to kick out. Emily standing up on her feet, but immediately gets taken over into the bank statement. But luckily for her, had her feet in the ropes, which didn't count. B showing loads of disrespect to Emily. Picks her up, tosses her into the ropes. She comes off and catches her with a lariat, which sends Emily to the ground. Emily in trouble now. Able to reverse out. Trying to catch B now. Throws her into the ropes and over the ropes. Drags her back into the ring the hard way, but only to get an arm drag takedown of her own. Now B back in control. Got Emily by the hair and by the head. Throws her out of the ring. And as we've seen in the past, whenever wrestlers go out in the ring, momentum can change rather rapidly depending on what happens. B having achieved her mission, throws her back in. Looking to go for the pin, it looks like. Yes. 1. That sloppy pin isn't enough. Emily kicks out at 1. And then B with an enziguri catches Emily, but then on the follow-up misses. But then tries and doesn't succeed to put an end to Emily. But Emily catches B, backdrops her onto the mat, dragging her towards the center of the ring, knee drops, and another. B back to her feet, a kick to the midsection. Oh, I think she was going to go for a DDT. B punches her way back out of it, though. And an overhand strike to the chin has Emily locked in, but again, tangled in the ropes. Not able to go for the submission, so she goes for the pin instead. 1, 2. Oh, my goodness, that was so infinitesimally close. Emily's standing up. She's dazed. And now she's getting the full force from B in a combination move. Now what is B going to do? Is she going to go for no, she goes for a leg stretch. Catches Emily with that. Picks her back up. And another crash down. Goes for the pin on Emily. Now she has her. 1, 2. Oh my goodness. Emily kicks out again. British Union member B able to just run this match and towards this latter half. Has been in full control. Catches her again. Goes for that bank statement again. In the ropes again. For the 3rd time. B needs to bring her out farther than this. She's not going to get a pin when she's that close to the ropes. Big move by Emily. Catches B. But B's not going to get a count that way. Oh my goodness. Emily just takes her face and shuffles it against the mat. Then comes down with an elbow drop. Now going for a high-risk maneuver. This might be the best chance Emily has to finish her off. B is in deep trouble. Squashed by Emily. Is this it? Is this where this all ends? Emily just tosses her over. I'd be tempted to leave her out there and see if she gets counted out. Emily's now standing on the top rope. Count now commencing. B barely up to her feet. And then chopped down by Emily, who's grabbed her own head. So obviously she's not in the best of shape. And gets caught trying to follow up on B, and she gets caught and rolled back into the ring. B now up to her feet and in the ring. Comes down with a stomp on the arm. Chasing Emily around. She picks her up and with a quick suplex tries to gain advantage. Emily, luckily for her, was able to reverse that. Throws B into the rope, smashes her head into the turnbuckle. Elbow after elbow after elbow to the head. B wobbles to the floor, setting up in a position where Emily can go for a big finishing move, and she hits it. Now is she going to go for the pin? She finally does after a slight delay. 1, 2. Oh wow, B kicks out fairly much with authority. Emily puts the boot on her face, just showing utter contempt. Stomps on her chin. Tries to go for another kick to the midsection and instead gets taken over. Turned over, and it's a half crab. Squeezing by B, but mostly I think that was just about punishing her. But Emily is able to get out of it. Roaring to herself, if not the crowd, to get herself geared up. B gets dragged to the middle. Another pin from the ropes. 1, 2. B once again able to get out. Emily tries again. B blocks again. Kick and another. She's in deep trouble now. Oh, but the reverse cutter fails as B is taken out. Big bulldog sends B down. Emily now in a position to win this thing. Smashes her face into the mat. She just needs one more move, and that might be it. She's just stretching B now. Pressure on the small of her back with her knees, and then wrenching on the back of her face. But B got out of it. Emily now in B's clutches, thrown into the corner turnbuckle. High knees catches Emily. Thrown off the ropes again, and now just pinioned by B, who's just laying into her. And then she goes for a cheap pin. 1, 2. Again, Emily kicks out. B stepping on her head. Wrenches with the scissor choke. Punch to the head again. Emily in deep trouble. Emily needs to get back advantage with that arm drag. Puts B back in charge. Again, Emily tries to follow up with a reverse. But again, but a quick little enziguri gets her out of trouble. B now in big trouble. DDT. Here we go. 1, 2. Do we have a new? No. Thought we had a new semifinalist right there, but nope. Emily not able to get the pin. Trying to finish off B. Stomps on the arm. She's got her where she wants her. She just needs to keep going. Wrenching on the neck. Kicks and more kicks. Now she's working on a rake of the face. But she stumbled and B took advantage. B again with that cutter. Dangerous move has got Emily down. But Emily catches her in a schoolboy. 1, 2. Oh my goodness. B able to kick out of that. Almost wrapped up in a small package. Emily has come super close to winning this thing. B, though, again fights her way out of danger. Lariat just crushes Emily. Emily wobbly. She's in the corner, propping herself up when B catches a hold of her and lays her in the tree of woe. This is not good news. Emily in trouble. Stepping on her face. Puts her back on the mat. Kick to the stomach. Here we go with that reverse cutter again. The Union is about to win. No, rake to the face. Gets Emily out of danger. Emily tries to follow up. Big high knee lift. Catches B in the midsection. Drags B into the ropes. Is Emily going to turn this all about? 1, 2. No. Once again, these two warriors are just fighting with everything they've got. It's a very good thing this tournament is not all in one day. This would be bad for either one of them. They have a week to recover, which is probably half the reason why they are going all out here. The other, of course, being they want to win. Oh, mistake made by Emily. B follows up. Finally, she's got her. She's got her. She's not in the ropes. She's got... Oh. Again, somehow, Emily continues to get out, but she's now... B follows up the pin. 1, 2, 3! And it will be B who moves on, celebrating, finally putting an end to Emily, who gave it a solid fight, but just ran out of time, ran out of ability, ran out of strength, and B caught her. Several times she tried to go for the bank statement. Every time it seemed like Emily had her foot somewhere under the ropes, and it kept her from being able to finish her off. But even though that was the case, she then followed it up with pinning combinations, and it caught Emily out. So it will be the British Union's B facing Cat next week. The winner will go on to the Internet title crown championship match at Redemption. So we have our final four. And, Ember coming out. Not quite sure what she's got to say. Hasn't been a good night for M&M. There's no doubt about that. Maybe there's some fallout from that. We'll have to see. Ember is less than impressed. I know that much. Neither of these two women are happy about what's been going on as of late, and I'm sure Emily must be feeling terrible after losing that match, but she has nothing to be ashamed of. She did very well against a very, very strong competitor. B is a dangerous foe. But nonetheless, here we go. What does Ember have to say for herself, and why has she taken the mic? I like this. Got the promo because it's the first time. Hey y'all, nice to see you as always. But tonight is not the brightest news. Tonight I'm no Mrs. Sunshine because I need to talk to Emily. Come on out, Emily. I know you just went in the back, but we need to talk. We need to talk this out. All right. Here she comes, her partner. After just going through a difficult tournament match, is waiting to make her way into the ring, I guess, to talk to her partner. Not quite sure what these two will say. You gotta figure it can't be good if they're making it public. Emily coming in. She doesn't look too bad. Not too worse for wear, but here we go. She's going for a mic of her own. Booby. I didn't catch on until just now. All right, here we go. Hey, nice to see you. You've been distant lately. I'm hoping this isn't... Please tell me you're not. What is this about? Obviously, Emily confused, doesn't know quite why she's been called out. Ember, I mean, I don't think it takes a genius to realize that these two are not on the same page, so I'm guessing Ember's got something to say about it. I've been in a couple of tag teams before, and I'm no stranger to it, so I'll say this with conviction. I have never in my entire career had a worse partner than you. You're awful. The worst. The absolute worst. Ooh, that's some heated commentary there from Ember. I don't see how Emily's to blame, but here you go. You're dumping me? Really? You gotta be kidding me. I'm the one who was carrying this team. And now, who are you? Some bimbo with good hair. That's not the best insult there, Emily. However, I can understand, having just been through a match, giving all that she could, she must be worn down, and to have this thrown at you certainly can't make it better. Do I have to spell this out for you? If I have to, I will. But I'm not sure that you have the mental faculty to understand, so I'll just say it loud and clear. I don't want to be your tag team partner anymore. No more matches, no more talking, no more putting up with your bad skills. We're through. Sometimes partnerships don't work out. It's not anyone's fault, really. It just doesn't work. That's not the case here. All of this is on you, and one day, soon, I'm going to make you pay for what you've done. Emily seems a bit aghast by this commentary. Nope. Well, Ember just walks away, leaving Emily wondering what went on, but it looks like we have reached the end of M&M. Not terribly surprising based on the last few matches. Certainly, Ember's not been happy. So we'll have to see what happens. But I think down the road, these two ladies are going to clash. You can guarantee that. And yeah, that was quite the shakeup. Eminem was a good combination. Like I said, you can't say they've been successful as of late, but certainly they've had their opportunities. But I think it's harsh to blame it all on Emily, particularly when Ember hasn't exactly been having a good night. But maybe that's what's been driving this sense of entitlement, you might say, and driving us towards this. So here we are. We've reached the main event. It's Runa and Ursula doing double duty tonight, as I said, versus the Abyss of Eternity, Tamara and Sabrina.
Introducing first, from the United States of America, Alexia.
Ursula looking no worse for wear, having won the earlier contest, will be wanting to get another victory here. And I've just been told that we have already signed Ember versus Emily next week on Attitude, as those two continue to work out their feelings with this. All right, so with that, the only person without a belt now out. So here comes Runa, her partner. These two go back to independent wrestling
And her partner,
as partners,
from Tacoma,
so
Washington,
they have a lot of familiarity
the
with each other.
women's champion, Stephanie the Diamond.
Women's champ facing Phoenix in 2 weeks. We'll be wanting to get a lot of work in and be able to set a good tone heading into the pay-per-view. 2 weeks from Wednesday. Alrighty, and now here comes Abyss of Eternity with a very strange entrance where they come in with only one belt. I don't know why. I think it's because it's a manager thing, but I really like this entrance. Even if it takes forever. Don't know what's with the beanbag. But nonetheless, it does kick off the green mist, which brings out Abyss of Eternity. Our tag team champions, having knocked off the British Union. Looking to take on all comers,
And
it seems.
their opponents, the champions, the original gangsta, Kong, and the destroyer, the Ministry of Darkness.
I'm really surprised that Tamara wasn't an option on the list, but whatever. Maybe all these names are just basically old wrestlers, I don't know. Wonder if you could actually choose Phil Brooks. CM Punk's actual name. I mean, you can do Punk, so who knows. And you can even do CM Punk because you can choose individual letters. All right, here these ladies come. We're ready for the match. The tag team champions in the ring. Sort of. All right, here we go. Our main event of the evening. And immediately Ursula starts out. Surprising. She comes in and catches Tamara straight away. Stomps on Tamara's arm. Picks her up. Goes for a high boot. Misses on the second follow-up. Tamara rolls her over. Ooh, natural selection catches Ursula. Maybe starting out might not be the best choice. Ursula picked up and slammed. She's now wobbly, but she comes in and is able to kick her way out with a quick reversal. Turns it over with a boot to the face, and then stomps on the arm. And again, Ursula's got Tamara into trouble. Stomp a third time. Now she's working. She's got her up. She's got her in a submission move. Tamara able to reverse it into a pin combination, but didn't come to fruition. The drop kick into the corner sends Tamara to the floor, pulling her into the center of the ring. Now looking to follow that up with a pinning combination, but Tamara able to get out of there. Working on the neck. Tosses her back onto her back. Now Tamara is able to get out of that one. Turns it into a DDT. Turns her over, drags Ursula towards the middle of the ring. And now looks to tag in Sabrina. Sabrina comes in with a good opportunity to finish off Ursula, who's been, as we said earlier, the only one of these four competitors who's been in a match already tonight. However, she is able to get over and tag Runa out. Or in, sorry. Sabrina gets tossed into the corner, but the champion chasing in backfires and now gets picked up and then just dropped as Sabrina works on the midsection. Now punch to the back of the neck, takes her into the corner, throws Runa face first into the turnbuckle, but then Runa reverses it and throws Sabrina across the ring, tags in her partner. Ursula comes in. They work together to get Sabrina up and over. Ursula with a kick and then a stomp on the arm. But she catches Ursula. And then sidewalk slam puts Ursula down. After the jawbreaker, that combination is fairly harsh. Sabrina again moving slowly into the corner, gets caught out. You really do need to move quicker when your opponent's dazed in the corner. It seems like the slower you go, the more likely the reversal happens. And again, here we go again. Sabrina closing in, and again another reversal. Punches by Ursula. Turns her around, throws her into the ropes and over the ropes. Now brings her hard way back in. Tries to catch her again, but Sabrina able to tag out to her partner. Tamara tries to catch Ursula, does on the second attempt with a high strike. Pinning attempt, 1. Ursula able to avoid a full pin, kick to the back. Oof. Natural selection. And here we go, 1. No. Runa watches on as her partner is taking more and more punishment. Ursula, like I said, been in one match already tonight, so she's already worn down. Big enziguri to the face, catching Tamara. She goes down, struggles to her feet. Ursula catches her, takes her into the ropes, tries to tie her up with a kick, but instead gets hurt. And now turned over. Tamara comes in with a stomp, picks up Ursula, gets her off her feet, and now guillotines her off the top rope. Ursula desperately trying to get to her partner, but Tamara cuts her off, throws her into the opposite corner. It catches the referee briefly, but unlike normal, does not go down like paper. Now it is both of these ladies working together. Here we go, bouncing up. And now the legal man, Sabrina, catches Ursula, trying to go for the pin. Runa comes in and stops it. Obviously, Ursula probably would have gone down. And that moment, in that instant, Sabrina now taking advantage of the fact that her opponent is devastated. Comes in, wheelbarrow slam. Tries to now get her into a submission hold. Squeezing the legs and arms. Putting pressure on that lower back. You can see that she just cannot make it. Ursula already too worn down from the match earlier, unable to pull through, and unfortunately for her, she will not move on, or not move on, she will move on. She will not be able to hold out and loses as Abyss of Eternity able to get a very good win against Ursula, and Sabrina with a big submission maneuver that, as I said, must have caused Ursula to have a lot of pain in that lower back in an area which had already been targeted in the earlier match. So she was obviously in deep trouble, and by the end of this match was just too weak after this move to really fight anything off, and Sabrina able to take advantage of it. And the tag team champions on another victory.
And the Destroyer, the Ministry of Darkness.
And I can say next week they will be facing Fate in a non-title matchup. So they will be busy again next week. But they're pretty happy this one. Tag team champions end the night with a big victory in the main event. There we are. That is the semifinals next week. Ursula versus Cat and B versus Cat 50,000. Could we have a double Cat final? Certainly Ursula after tonight will be looking to gain some momentum back. The match against Brenna obviously took a lot out of her in the main event. She just didn't have enough energy left to be able to fight off the two women who have been tearing up the tag team division. And to date, it has been pretty solid. The Cat 50,000, of course, still has problems to face from Brenna. Who knows if she'll get involved. Again, don't know what her strategy was there. Obviously, even if Cat wins, she would then go on to only face Brenna in the final. So maybe Brenna wanted that matchup? I'm not quite sure. Still don't know why she interfered in the match, but nonetheless, she did. And so, there we go. And with that, we have reached the end of Attitude,